Okay, fine. So, dear students, what we can do is, I'll continue with the batch 1. That is, for batch 1, I've completed tool justice. Okay, yeah. Okay. So, as one of you have asked, sir, how much is like batch 4, that is batch 2, one, you are lagging behind only one class. Batch 5, okay, videos will be given to you, it seems. Okay, I'm not able to contact Chandru sir right now, but I get some messages from some of the students here that for other batches videos will be given. So actual solution, what will be will be informed to you in the next class, or a message will come to you, okay, in your Telegram group. So I will consult with Chandru sir and let you know. Okay, the possible solution, one possible solution is video, or other possible solution is to, okay, other possible solution. Is my audio is clear to all of you? Okay, so one possible option is providing a video. Okay, so that will be confirmed after consulting with Chandru sir. Second option is for batch 4. Okay, you are lagging behind only one class. Okay, for you I have to take liberty, equality, and justice. Okay, those 3 topics has to be taken for you. For coming Friday, there is a class for the batch. Okay, there is a class for batch number 2. That is the batch which has been converted to batch number 4 now. Okay, so batch number 4, you will have a class in coming Friday. You can attend that class. For batch 5, okay, for batch 5, what we can do is either video, or when I take classes for batch 5, there you can join. Okay, so some 4 to 5 classes you have to attend. Okay, so those classes you can attend in the batch 5. What is the solution, actual solution? You will be informed through Telegram, okay, as soon as possible. Okay, once this class is over by 7:30, we'll immediately contact Chandru sir and we'll let you know. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, so I will take class in such a manner, okay, that even freshers, that is batch 5 students, are able to understand. Okay, of course there are some continuity is there, but I will change my strategy so that, okay, you will also feel comfortable listening to the class. Okay, so don't worry. Batch 5, don't worry. Even if 2 people are there, 2-3 people are there, okay, still I will keep in mind that you have not attended the previous classes, and we'll explain in detail. Okay, fine. So democracy means the assurances that is given, okay, in order to tell that people will be getting all the benefits, okay, from the state, whereas justice is actually implementing it. Okay, so today we are going to see the topic unity and integrity. Okay, unity and integrity. What do we mean by unity in India? Okay, so to discuss what is unity, first you must understand the difference between unity and uniformity. Okay. Unity means unity in diversity. So people of India belong to various castes, various religions, various cultures. We speak different languages. Okay, North India, South India. Okay, different ethnicities is there. Okay, North Indians look differently, South Indians look differently. Okay, and Northeast India, if you see, they are ethnically different. They are similar to Chinese. Okay, so there are a lot of differences, okay, between us, but still we are united. Okay, that is what we call it as unity in diversity. Whereas uniformity means we are trying to bring togetherness by, okay, making everybody belong to the same group. Okay, okay, unity through likeness. Okay, so telling people that you all belong to one religion, so you belong to one country. You speak one language, so you belong to one country. You belong to one sect of the religion, so you belong to one country. You belong to a particular ethnic community, so you belong to one country. You all belong to one race, so you are one country. Like that, if you say, that is uniformity. There are some countries in the world which follow the principle of uniformity. For example, China. Okay, in case of China, okay, they give importance only to the major race. Okay, so the Chinese have this major race, and Chinese. Within Chinese itself, you know, even though they look similar, they have different races among themselves, and Han Chinese is the major race, and the Chinese government, whenever they are settling the Chinese people in different countries like Africa and all, they give preference to Han Chinese only. And there are different dialects in Chinese. Okay, Mandarin is one dialect. Dialect means regional variation. Okay, Mandarin is a dialect of Chinese. This means regional variation of that language. Okay, like, you know, if you see in Tamil Nadu, Tamil is spoken in different ways in different regions, right? Likewise, Mandarin is one of the dialects, and that is given priority by the government. Okay, and political ideology also. Okay, communist ideology. Communist ideology. Okay, so no other political ideology is allowed. There is only one political party, Communist Party of China. No other political party is allowed. Okay, so if we see China, you know, they try to bring togetherness of the people through uniformity. Okay, telling that you all belong to one group, so you are all one country, like that. Okay, in fact, we find that the Chinese are not giving the Tibetans the rights. Okay, Tibet people, the rights. And there is a state called as Xinjiang. Okay, in that state, the majority of the population are Uyghur Muslims. Okay, Xinjiang region, and Uyghur Muslims, and they are not allowed to practice their religion. Okay, or the Chinese government wants to take control. And of course, the other side of the story is, okay, because of the proximity of the Xinjiang region to Afghanistan, okay, and Pakistan, there is a lot of infiltration of terrorists inside this region, and China is facing terrorist problem in this region, in Xinjiang region. Okay, so there is a conflict, but the Chinese side, you know, they are not allowing the Muslims their religious freedom. And in case of Sri Lanka also, you know, okay, they also try to bring uniformity, togetherness, or unity of the country to uniformity, telling that all of the Buddhism is the main religion. Okay, and even Hinduism is relegated to the secondary state. And Sinhalese is language and Sinhala race is promoted as the primary language and primary race in Sri Lanka. Tamil people and the Muslim people in Sri Lanka has to live as a secondary citizens in that country. Okay, fine. So the point is, okay, in India we don't follow uniformity. We don't follow uniformity. We follow unity in diversity. Okay, what is the meaning? Okay, we will be allowing the differences. Okay, we will be recognizing and respecting the differences. We will not try to eliminate difference. In uniformity, what happens? No, okay, they try to eliminate the differences. If at all any small differences is there, they try to eliminate the differences between people. But in India's case, we recognize and respect the differences. We don't want people to become one, or in the sense, we don't want to paint all people in the same brush. We don't want to convert them to one religion. We don't want to convert them to one caste. We don't want to make them, make India belong to one race or one culture. India is a land of diversities, okay, and thus we talk about unity in diversity. In interview, when we go to UPSC interview, there is a popular question that is asked to people from Tamil Nadu, people who are coming from Karnataka, and people who are coming from Maharashtra, okay, for interview. Okay, so they'll ask this question whether you are a Indian or a Tamil, whether you are a Kannadiga or a Indian, whether you are a Maratha or an Indian. And this question is also posted to Punjabi people, okay, because these 4 states are known for regionalism, okay, which means they are more loyal towards to their state than the country. Okay, the general assumption, whether there is 100% true or not, that is a debate. But however, okay, this is a general perception. Okay, and because at one point of time, Tamil Nadu and Punjab was asking for a separate country also. Okay, before 1970s, and Tamil Nadu was asking for. In 1980s, Punjab was asking for a separate country. Okay, so these 2 states, as well as Maratha and Karnataka, we know son of the soil theory. There is more recognition for their language, and there's a fight. Okay, fine. Now, assume that you are an interview board. Okay. Now, if such a question is asked to you, okay, what will be your answer? Yes. Yeah, I am getting a lot of answers. Indian. Good, good, good. I appreciate your patriotism, okay, towards our country. Okay, as a future IAS officer, this is good. Okay. Now there is one interesting answer that is coming. Tamil speaking Indian. I think you have watched that Kamal film. Okay, because Kamal in one of the old films, he will go to an interview. Okay. He will go to interview, and there the same question will be asked. He will say, I'm a Tamil speaking Indian. Okay. So that is not an appropriate answer, my dear. Okay, Mohammed Sadiq. Okay. I'll come. Okay. Those who are saying Indian also, I would say, I would like to put this way. When you give an answer, better to answer like this, that you are an Indian as well as Tamil, or you're Indian who is also a Kannadiga, Indian also who is a Marathi. Okay, so that is the meaning of unity in diversity. If you say Indian, it means that you are sacrificing your sub-identity. India doesn't want that. Okay, the idea of India, the constitution of India doesn't want that. It doesn't want you to sacrifice your identity, your caste identity. It doesn't say that drop your religious identity. It doesn't say that drop your state identity, linguistic identity. Okay, but first Indian, yes. Okay, Saravanan, okay, has texted correctly. First Indian, then I'm also a Tamil. Okay, very good. Okay. Now here I'll give another scenario so you'll understand it properly. Suppose you are going to World Bank interview. Okay, after becoming an IAS, there is chances that you can go and work in World Bank, Asian Development Bank, the new development bank of BRICS. Okay, there are many opportunities. So you want to go to an international organization where they're conducting an interview. That they're asking, who are you? Whether you are a global citizen or an Indian. What would you say? Just because you are going to an international organization, work under an international organization, will you say that I'm a global citizen? Will say that yes, I'm a global citizen, but at the same time I'm an Indian also. Okay, you will not leave up your Indian identity, right? The same way, okay, it's not necessary to give up your sub-identities, like whether you belong to Tamil Nadu or Maharashtra or Karnataka. Okay, so you can say that Indian who's speaking Tamil or Indian as well as a Tamilian, Indian as well as a Kannadiga, Indian as well as a Marathi. Okay. Now you cannot say that I'm a Tamilian or I'm a Marathian. Okay, leaving the national identity also, because we are all one. We have seen just now unity in diversity. Okay, yes, we are different. While the country allows you to practice your differences, be what you are, belong to your religion, belong to your language, belong to your state. At the same time, the country also says that you have to belong to me. Okay, so you are an Indian first, then you belong to your sub-identity. That is why I'm using the word sub-identity. Indian identity is the primary identity, first identity for us. After Indian identity, the identity that we have is sub-identity. Okay, we need not leave them. Okay. Now, okay. If you are saying that Tamil speaking Indian, that is also a problem, which means you are having two identities. Good. But at the same time, you're giving more priority to the regional identity. Meaning, the concept of unity and diversity is, yes, your difference is allowed, but unity is primary. So, whenever there is a conflict between the national identity, the Indian identity, and the regional identity, that is state identity, which one should prevail? The national identity should prevail. Okay. See, a person who belongs to Islam can also be an Indian. Okay, just because somebody wears a cap and boards a beard, we cannot say that he is denying the Indian identity. He is having the Muslim identity, okay, as well as the Indian identity. A tribal community person can be a tribe as well as a Indian. Okay, a person could be belonging to Hindu, okay, be religiously Hindu. At the same time, he can also be India. Just because he's loyal to his religion, Hinduism, doesn't mean that he is denying India. Okay. A person is having a caste, okay, who's having proud, okay, who's happy to be in his caste, doesn't mean that he is decrying in Indian. He feels that he's part of that particular caste as well as Indian. It's just like family, right? Will you deny your family to tell that Indian? If somebody comes and asks you whether you belong to your family or belong to this country, you will say that yes, I belong to the country as well as my family. Okay, because my national identity is India. Okay, my family identity is that I belong to a particular family, or my social identity is I belong to this particular family, or I belong to this caste, this religion. Okay. And I know there is one more good answer is there. One person has answered that, sir, I will answer Indian from Tamil Nadu. Good. That is also a correct answer. Okay. So you are giving priority to the Indian identity first, then you are not leaving your sub-identity. Okay. So you are recognizing both identities and giving preference to Indian identity. That is the way you have to deal with. Because India as a land, Indian constitution is providing for unity and diversity, not uniformity. Those countries where uniformity is there, they will not allow these differences. Okay, they will say that don't come out with your religion, don't come out with your caste, or don't come out with your primordial identities. They would say your linguistic identity, like that. Okay, but in India's case, it is completely different. Okay, so understood. So that is what we mean by unity in diversity. Okay. And we have the word integrity. We have the word integrity. Okay, what is the meaning of the word integrity? Undividedness. Undividedness. Okay. Which means you cannot divide the country. Cannot divide the country. Cannot divide the country. See, the word unity is always written like this: unity and integrity. Okay. If you take the preamble and read it, you will find that the word unity is written along with the word integrity, unity and integrity, which means there is a correlation between two words. Okay. When we say unity is unity in diversity, Integrity means you should not allow the differences to divide us. Very important. You are allowed to follow the differences. Okay, if you are a Tamil, fine, you can happy about your Tamil identity, Kannada identity. If you are a Muslim, you can be happy and proud of being a Muslim. If you belong to a scheduled caste, you can be happy about your belonging to a particular scheduled caste or scheduled tribe. But at the same time, you should not allow that differences to divide the country. Okay, so what happened in case of Tamil Nadu and Punjab? Okay, they were asking separate country in the name of their linguistic identity. Okay, so they were using the differences to divide the country. Okay, so that is where integrity is there. Integrity means you should not divide the country based on the differences. See the beauty. So we are saying that unity in diversity, at the same time, that differences, that diversity should not be allowed to divide us. You can have your differences, it will be respected and recognized, but at the same time, don't bring the differences in order to divide the country. So that is what the message the preamble is giving to us. Okay, in fact, as already I told you, the word integrity was added by Indira Gandhi in the year 1976, 42nd Amendment Act. Integrity was added by Indira Gandhi in the year 1976, 42nd Amendment Act. For first batch, you guys know this. Okay, we have discussed. What other words has been added? Okay, what other words has been added? Yes, very good, very good, very good. I'm getting text messages that the word secularism and socialism were also added. Integrity, 3 words. So secularism, socialism, and integrity were added by Indira Gandhi in 1976, 42nd Amendment Act. Very good, very good. Thank you, thank you. Guys are listening to my class. Happy about that. You're giving correct answers. Okay. Secularism and socialism and integrity are the words added by her. And we know that why Indira Gandhi added the word secularism in order to control the right-wing extremism. Okay, and socialism in order to counter left-wing extremism. For batch 5 students, you may not know this. Okay, in the classes that will be taken to you, there I will explain. Okay, right now you just listen. Okay, why integrity was added. Indira Gandhi first faced the third type of problem called as regionalism. Okay, or regional. Okay, extremist form of regionalism, or I can say extreme regionalism. Okay, already I told you regionalism means what? Regionalism means placing the state's interest over and above the country's interest. If you are placing the country's interest above, very good. Regionalism, extreme regionalism. Regionalism means placing the state interest over the country's interest. And regionalism is a regular phenomenon, not only of Tamil Nadu or Maharashtra or Karnataka. Any state will tend to have priority for its own state. Okay, for example, West Bengal, is countering the central government in order to promote its interest. It is not allowing the central government to sign a T-Star River Water Treaty with Bangladesh. Likewise, West Bengal is not allowing the CBI to enter into its state. Bihar has its own demands. Okay, likewise, Kerala has its own demands. Andhra Pradesh has its own demands. Okay, so whenever central government is bringing up certain decisions, they always some states which will be opposing it. Okay, so that is not a problem. It is actually the correct thing to do in politics. Okay, regionalism alone is fine, but extreme form of regionalism is bad. If you are asking for the rights of your state, that is democracy. Every state in this country has the right to demand to the government what they want. Because after all, that is what politics is. After all, that is why we live as one country. Okay, so every state has the right to ask to the central government what it wants. But if the state government or a particular political party is totally demanding to the center that We don't want to be in Indian Union. We want a separate country. Then it is extreme form of regionalism. That is the problem. Regionalism as such is a general phenomenon, but extreme regionalism asking for separatism, regionalism, which leads to demand for a separate country or separatism, is a problem. So to counter this, Indira Gandhi brings the word integrity. Okay, she wants people, okay, telling that, don't bring the differences to divide us. We agree that, you are Tamil people, you are Punjabi, we give respect to Tamil, we give respect to the Punjabi people, Maharashtra people and Kannadigas. But that doesn't mean that you have to bring that identity to break the country away. Okay, so we have to remain together. So that is the idea of integrity. Okay. Now, now we are all sitting at your home and listening to the lectures. One fine day, you will be coming to our academy. Okay, we'll be sitting in a classroom atmosphere. Okay, when you come to the classroom, you are going to make a lot of friendships, new friendships. You're going to meet many new people and make new friendships right here in Chennai. Okay, I'm wishing and praying for that day to come soon. Okay, we want this corona crisis to end, that to happen. When you come here, you will be making relationships. The very first day, okay, you won't know who's the person sitting next to you. Okay, but however, as the days go, you will start making friendship with that person. Okay. Only friendship. Okay, you should not make any other relationship while preparing for UPSC. That would affect your preparation. Okay, so it's a warning. Okay, when you come, before you come here itself, I'm telling you. Now, after creating friendship, okay, you find that the person whom you have created the friendship is belonging to some other caste, is belonging to a religion, okay, which you do not like. Okay, leave that, you don't hating. Okay, so maybe you don't like a religion and the person belongs to that religion. Okay, then you also come to the knowledge that the person belongs to an opposite political ideology. Okay. Now my question is, will you cut down the relationship? Will you cut down the relationship just because the person is belonging to a different group? No, we will not. We will not. Okay, good. I'm so happy, today you guys are very active. You're responding very fastly. Okay, so Ashwin, Archana, Sara, okay, and 205378. Okay, good. Amuda, okay, thank you. Thanks. Okay, so you guys have correctly said that you will not cut down your relationship just because the person belongs to some other group, some other caste, some other religion, some other language, or some other ethnic group. Okay. So the same thing, the word integrity means you will not allow your differences to divide. Simple. Okay, so in examination, mains examination, you have to remember this point. Unity means unity in diversity. Okay, and integrity means you will not allow the differences to divide us. Okay, not allow, write this, not allow differences to divide us. Got it? So I think you now understand the concept of integrity. Okay, now here I just want to tell you, in ethics paper also there will be a word integrity. Okay, so that is different, this is different. Integrity for a country is different, integrity for individual is different. For a country, integrity means undividedness, but for an individual, integrity means, okay, a person who does what he says, or a person who says what he does, both. Okay, if you tell something, you have to do it. That is integrity. Okay, and if somebody is asking about what is your habit, what is your hobby, what is your favorite pastime, okay, you have to tell what actually you do. Okay, it's called as the person of integrity. Okay, so that is in ethics paper. Okay, so please don't confuse with that word integrity and this word. Okay, generally my students have this problem. Okay, they don't have contextual understanding. Now that is why I have to clearly put it. Okay, if in ethics paper they are asking integrity, you have to write about the character of the individual. The individual has to practice what he professes. What he has been told by him has to be practiced. That person is called as a person of integrity. When it comes to country, integrity means undividedness. Okay. Let me move on to the next key word in the preamble, that is dignity of the individual. Okay. Dignity of the individual. What is dignity? Dignity means, okay, the self-worth. Okay, I'm getting some text messages here. Okay, some people are saying self-respect. I will tell you that, dignity means self-worth. It is the self-worth which brings you the self-respect, or social, or even, and I should say not or, and the social respect. Okay, others also respect you because they feel that you are a worthful person. Very good, very good. Okay, okay, generally yes. Okay, and even most of our books in schools and generally newspapers, they always say dignity means self-respect. Okay, of course dignity and self-respect are interrelated, I do not disagree. Okay, but your self-respect comes because you have a self-worth. Okay, so dignity, you must understand, that is your worth as an individual. Okay, and it also means that you should live a meaningful life. A meaningful life, you should live a meaningful life. Okay, so what is a meaningful life? Okay, you have to, when you do something, you have to do something for your own benefit. Okay, act for the benefit of oneself. Act for the benefit of oneself. Okay, meaning, if you do some activity, for example, you are attending UPSC class, you should attend only if you feel that you want to become IAS, if you feel that an IAS is benefiting you. Okay, if you are doing something for the benefit of others forcefully, okay, or first let us say if you are working for others benefit, then it means that you are being exploited, and loss of dignity. Exploitation is a situation where you loss of dignity, you lose your worth. Okay, so I told you what is self-worth. Self-worth means meaningful life. You have a value for your life. When does you have value for your life? When you live for yourself, when you get up and do an activity for your own benefit. Supposing you don't like a particular activity, but you are being forced to do that activity, then you can say that you're not living a worthful life. You're not living for yourself, you're living for others' benefit. Okay, you're living for, okay. Yes, I can understand your mind. Some of you were asking, sir, when I was in school, my parents asked me to do homework. Okay, I dislike doing homework, but they forced me to do the work. So does it mean that I lost my dignity? Remember, until the age of 18, okay, you cannot decide for yourself. You get the maturity only after the age of 18. So we can talk about the concept of acting on oneself is, okay, acting for the benefit of oneself is, applies only after 18. And even if you say homework is benefit for you, not for your parents. Parent might force you, but it is not for their benefit, it is for your future. They're asking you to do. Okay, so you are acting for your own benefit. Okay, so that cannot be loss of dignity. Okay. Then I'll ask this question. Okay, sometimes our parents, our parents. They are sacrificing a lot. They involve in acts like working hard, okay, and they make a lot of sacrifices for the benefit of you, not for themselves, but for you. Does it mean we are exploiting our parents, or does it mean that parents are losing their dignity? I'll repeat. When we say one must act for the benefit of oneself, our parents should also do activities which is benefiting themselves. But we find parents many a time sacrificing many things and they act for us. Right? They act for us. So can we say that the parents are being exploited by us? Their dignity is lost? Okay, so I know many of you say no, and Archana has given us answer that if done out of their self-interest, then it's not exploitation by the kids. Okay, so you're not exploiting your parents, I hope, Archana. Fine. Now your answer is correct, absolutely right. Okay, just small rephrasing has to be done. Voluntary act. Okay, so the key word is when the dignity is lost. Okay, if somebody is acting, this act should be forceful. The element of force is there, and you are made to act for benefit of others. Then it is exploitation. Okay, so the second point that you must know is not just acting for the benefit of oneself. We can act for others' benefit also, voluntarily. Okay, the opposite word of force is voluntarily. So our parents voluntarily act for our benefit. So it is not exploitation. They do not lose their dignity. In fact, their dignity is enhanced. They feel more worthful by supporting the kids. Okay, so voluntary actions enhance dignity, enhance the self-worth, value. Worth means value. Army people, they are losing their lives for the protection of the country. Okay, now corona warriors, the medical staff, healthcare providers, the doctors, nurses, sanitary workers, government officers, starting from IAS to clerk, they're risking their lives to be on the field, okay, in order to counter this corona pandemic. Okay, so these warriors, corona warriors, okay, they are doing a voluntary action. Okay, so that cannot be a loss of dignity. It cannot be, of course, dignity is not lost. Okay, because the element of force is not there, an element of voluntary action is there. Okay. Fine, understood. Then another point is one cannot, or I would put it simply, monetizing the worth of the individual is also loss of dignity. Monetizing the worth of the individual. Okay, monetizing. Okay, so Shivapriya has raised the hand. Yes, you can unmute and speak, Shivapriya.
Sir, my chat button is not working, sir. It means if I click send, it's not going. It's showing your name that you are not in the meeting.
But you can listen my audio and video, right?
Yes, sir. But if I want to answer something, I cannot move, sir. And also, I have doubt also. That's why I don't want to interrupt the class also. So that means child labor. Can we take it as loss of dignity or what?
Of course,
That's
of
my
course,
doubt.
loss of dignity. Because the child is made to work for the benefit of some other company owner. It is not benefit of child. In fact, child's childhood, okay, the time for learning, the time for playing is taken away from the child. Okay, so the child
But for but for the parents, it is beneficial, no, sir. That's why.
no. Whenever a child is involved in an activity, it should be beneficial for the child. Even if it is beneficial for parents, we cannot justify it. Okay, dignity of the child means the child should be made to do what is beneficial for it. Okay,
Okay,
and
sir.
even child, whatever, even the child may doing it voluntarily. You can say that the particular child is going to the job voluntarily to help the parents. But remember, voluntary action of child is not accepted until the 18 years is completed, because the child is not in a position to assess whether what is doing is correct or not.
Okay, sir. Got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay, so Ashwin Sriram, no, Shivapriya, Ashwin Sriram is offering you a solution. Okay, log out and once again log in, that problem will be over. It seems Ashwin had also had the same problem that he could not text. Now he's chatting with me. So you please log out, okay, and then log in so that you will be able to give answers in the chat box, Shivapriya. Okay, got it, Shivapriya? I think she is muted. Okay, fine. So I'll just share one incident in my home. Just 2 years before, it happened 2 years before. Okay, my son was 3 years old. Now he's 5 years old. Okay, so I took my son to the shop and I was teaching him, how to converse with the shopkeeper. Okay, and I took a 10 rupee note and I showed to him, and they said that this is a 10 rupee note. Now keep it in your hand and ask the shopkeeper, okay, how much is the biscuit packet? Okay, how much is the biscuit packet? Now the shopkeeper replied that it is 10 rupees. Okay, so I told her, okay, give this 10 rupees to the shopkeeper and buy the biscuit, take the biscuit. Okay, so my son gave that 10 rupee note and took back the took the biscuit, okay, in his hands. We came home. Okay, say 1 hour or 2 hours gone. Okay, so I have this okay, curiosity always, okay, asking my son, how much you like me. Okay, because most of the time I've been Bangalore, in Trivandrum, I keep going some other place. So the time period I spend with my son is very little, so I have this guilty feeling. So I'll ask him this question often. That day also I asked the same question, how much you like me? Okay, immediately he said 10 rupees. Okay, because in the shop I taught, when a question like how much is rice, you have to do. So he has understood that if the question is how much, you have to quantify it. Okay, and spontaneously he said 10 rupees. Okay, fine. Okay, now I gave a disapproval. Okay, to convey that the answer was not correct. Okay, that is how you teach your child, right? Okay, I showed a body language, so he got alert now. So I just wanted to check, okay, whether he's alert or not, whether he have received my message. So now I asked this question, how much you like your mother? Okay, now he was straightforward. He said that I don't know. Okay, because earlier he gave the answer 10 rupees. I frowned upon, I gave a reaction that I was not happy about that answer. Okay, because it's not an appropriate answer. So now he's alert and he said that I don't know, very simply, because he don't know what should be answered. Okay, now I'll come to this, you should learn from children. Okay, so the attitude of saying I don't know, I'll come to that later. But now my wife was sitting nearby only, and she immediately jumped in. Okay, and she asked what is happening here. And I told her the entire story and said that when I asked how much you like your mother, he says that I don't know. And she immediately said, my wife said, okay, if the child, my son, if he's not knowing how much is my value, my worth, okay, how much, like, it means that I am invaluable, my worth is invaluable, I'm very precious for him. That is why he's saying that he doesn't know the value. Okay, so He's not able to quantify it. Priceless. Okay, fine. Immediately, another comment came from my wife. She said that, but you are worth for 10 rupees only. Oh. The point I'm trying to bring from this scenario is the human worth is invaluable. Every human beings, they should be invaluable. They are priceless. If you are going to monetize the worth of the individual, if you're going to fix a money value, okay, for an individual's worth, then it is loss of dignity. It's loss of dignity. Slavery system, okay. In case of slavery system, price tag is fixed, okay. One slave is sold for 50,000 rupees, another slave is sold for 30,000 rupees. You are making human beings as a commodity, fixing a price value and buying and selling them. So that is loss of dignity. Buying and selling of human beings in any form, okay, or buying and selling of women in order to push them into prostitution, that is loss of dignity, okay, because you are fixing a money value on that individual. Okay, then bonded labor, okay, so that is also, okay, fixing a money value. So we can say that it is a loss of dignity. It's a loss of dignity. Okay. So remember, okay, whenever somebody is fixing the money value, it is a problem. Now you may ask this question, sir, in IPL matches and all, they are fixing the money value for each player. One player is paid high, another player is paid less. See, that is, the money value is fixed for their talent. When money value is fixed for your talent, it is not a problem. It is not loss of dignity. For the entire person, if money value is fixed, then it is loss of dignity. You may also talk about company salaries. Okay, company is paying salary. Okay, for few people, the company is paying high salary. For some people, the company is paying less salary. It means that the company is paying the money. It is fixing the money value for the talent, experience of the individual. Okay, not for the individual per se, individual as such. Okay, so we cannot say it is loss of dignity. I see from some chats, yes. Good, good. Okay. So I was about to give this example. Dowry is also a loss of dignity. Very good. Okay, 2053789. You don't have your name, but dowry is also loss of dignity too. Why? Okay, it is because the money value is fixed on the individual. Okay. As such, it is not about talent. Okay, it is not about other things. Okay, but it is about the thing. More the person is weaker, higher is the dowry value. Okay, supposing the society thinks person being fair is beautiful, person being black is not beautiful. So the person who's black would have to pay more money, or women who's short has to pay more dowry. Women who has less educational qualification has to pay money. Okay, likewise. Okay, there is dignity. There are instances. Okay, it's a shame to say that. Okay, many of my friends, okay, who's IAS officers, they have taken dowry, and women officers. Okay, many of my friends, okay, who are women officers, they have also had to pay dowry in order to get married. Okay, and it has become a something acceptable in the society. Okay, dowry has become. We will discuss this. Okay, later. Okay, why dowry cannot be eradicated? There is a structural problem in India. Okay, the recent Supreme Court judgment is also there. Okay, so the recent Supreme Court judge has said that women also has equal share in the ancestral property. So earlier, women did not have share in the ancestral property. All the ancestral property will go to men. So when there is a time of marriage, generally the daughter will ask for some amount of movable properties. Like she will say that, give me a one-time settlement of cash and jewelry. Okay, because anyway, I'm not going to have a share in the ancestral property. Okay, so that is why Indian government, state governments, as well as court is trying maximum, so that when share in the ancestral property is given to women also, the problem of dowry will slowly get reduced. It cannot happen immediately, but it will get reduced, because women will start asking, see, I'm bringing in the property also, why should I give dowry? Okay, so socially that is the reason why dowry is still continuing, because Indians generally think that movable property is for men. I'm sorry, immobile property is for men. That is land and house, like immobile property and all is for men. Movable property like cash, jewelry is for women. Okay, done. So what is dignity? Dignity is, once again, like justice, it can be understood only in exploitative situations. That is when one is made to act for the benefit of others through force. Okay, and somebody's worth is being valued through money. In these two situations, we call that exploitation is taking place. Okay, which is the loss of dignity. Yeah. Okay. Good, good, good. This is a smart class actually. Okay, there is one beautiful question that is raised here. So does even sati comes under laws of dignity? Yes, women should have a self-worth for themselves. Okay, they should live for themselves. Of course, in their life, they need company. They need some soulmate, so they get married to a male. Now, if the husband dies, if the women also should go, then it means that the woman has to live her entire life for the man and his sons and daughters and for the household, which means she does not live a life for herself. It is a loss of dignity. Okay, so even supposing if a woman, is asked to drop her career for the benefit of the household, okay, there must be a balance. Okay, career and household should be balanced. Okay, you cannot give up the household also. I'm clear on that. But completely, if you are asked to leave up your career in order to take care of the household, then it is also a loss of dignity. Okay. Then there is, okay, Karan is asking a very important question. Death compensation, say 1 to 2 lakhs or 10 lakhs or 5 lakhs, whatever it is given to people. Okay, does it have anything to do with dignity? Remember, it is just a compensation for the family. It is not the worth, fixing value for the worth of the individual. Okay, so it is just the family has lost one individual, so they will be losing some monetary aspect also. Okay, so then that is one. Okay, fine. Okay, or I think many of you are concerned with dignity. There is okay, sir, in case of dowry, it is loss of dignity for the person who are giving or getting. Okay, so who's giving dowry, not for them, is loss of dignity. Okay, and that is why there is Prevention of Dowry Act. The person who's getting the dowry, okay, will be punished. The person who's giving dowry is lost dignity. The women is a victim, so they will be compensated. A person who's getting is involving in a criminal activity. Okay, Prevention of Dowry Act says that one who gets dowry is a criminal. Okay, so a person becomes criminal, his status is getting down. Okay, so we are not saying that dignity. Okay, so by the definition of constitution, okay, it is so. Okay, so there is another question. When one person shames another, who's at loss of dignity here legally? Okay, shaming of one person and another. See, substantially speaking, okay, so Karan, your question I'll answer later. States can't cede from the union. That is a different chapter. I will answer your question. But now, shaming of one person, whether dignity is lost. See, here we are not seeing the full definition of dignity. The concept of dignity is a philosophical one. Okay, you'll deal it in the ethics paper also. So there you can say that the person who's getting dowry is losing the dignity, and begging people are losing dignity, or when one person is shaming others, dignity is lost, and like that you can speak. But here the concept of dignity means these two. Okay, it involves these two. Okay, because these are the serious ones. Monetizing the worth of the individual makes the people inhuman. Okay, losing their self-worth itself. Simply because somebody is, criticizing you, somebody is shaming you, will not result in result of dignity, loss of dignity. Okay. Because, you may be going, whatever you do in life, there'll be some people to come and shame you, some people come and criticize you. So criticizing and shaming you is not loss of dignity. They're using some other word, defamation. Defamation. Okay, defamation. Okay, when somebody shames you, okay, you can file a defamation case. It is called as defamation. Your fame is being reduced. Okay. Article 370 pull out as loss of dignity to the Kashmir people. See, here the concept of dignity, they're concerned about dignity of the individual. We are concerned about the individual, and Article 370 is a political one, whereas dignity is related to social aspect. Okay, Article 370 is political aspects. We don't use the word dignity for the political aspects. Okay, so we will say that the political right of Kashmiri people has been taken away because of 370. We do not use the word dignity because dignity is individual as well as social. Okay, fine. So fine, we'll let's freeze. Okay, so okay, simple. Okay, dignity means you must remember that one should be work for the benefit of oneself, and one's value should not be monetized. And very important thing, when one is made to work for the benefit of others, if they're working voluntarily, no problem. Only when they're forced to work for the benefit of others, there's loss of dignity, loss of self-worth. Okay, because you are not living a meaningful life. Okay, when you do some act which you don't like at all, there is no utility in the life itself. Okay, fine. Next is, I just want to give an analogy and move on to the next topic. Okay. That is the salient features of Indian Constitution. So, yeah. Immanuel Kant. Okay, you have to know about this person, Immanuel Kant. You will be learning about this person in the ethics paper. Ethics paper. He is one of the prominent thinkers, ethical thinker. In fact, he is the one who defined ethics and dignity first. Okay. Okay, he is the one who started to define ethics and dignity. Okay, while he's attempting to define dignity, this person, Immanuel Kant, okay, he is giving an analogy. He says that everybody should live like a sun. Sun exists for itself. Okay, incidentally, it gives light to entire solar system. Whereas one should not live like candle. What does happen to the candle? Candle illuminate itself. Give light. Okay. So, what is expected by Indian Constitution? What is expected by humanity? When you act, the act should be beneficial to you as well as it is beneficial to others. See, if the sun stops burning, automatically, it will die. So if sun has to exist, it has to burn. Incidentally, the burning sun is giving light to the entire solar system. Okay. So till now, we don't know whether sun is having a soul or not. Okay. It's not like, it is with affection with the humanity, affection to the earth, it is giving light. No, it is existing for itself, and incidentally it is lighting up the solar system. It is beneficial for the humanity and earth, for the entire solar system. Okay, but for a candle, it burns itself to give light. Okay, and see, the sun can brighten up the entire solar system, whereas the candle can light up only a small part of the room. Okay, so if you feel that you have to sacrifice your life and then live for the benefit of others, your efforts will be very minimal. It will have a very minimal impact. Okay, so if you are an intelligent person, you have to do your best. Okay, achieve the best position in the society. Automatically the society will be benefited. Automatically. Okay, even consciously you need not do dharma. Okay, consciously you may not do philanthropy or charity, but if you are doing best in your own work, incidentally you are doing betterment to the people. Okay, so doctors doing their own work efficiently, okay, they may get money for that, but still they are serving the society. Okay, likewise. Okay, we have many examples. Okay, we may say that Google is earning a lot. Okay, but incidentally it is also acting beneficial for many people. Okay, it provides information at the click of the button. Okay, of course there are negatives, but we have to see things lightly. We have to see things in a positive light. Okay, now the point is, each one of us are called upon to live for ourselves, the benefit of ourselves. Okay, which is incidentally beneficial for others also. Now I want to clarify this. Something is beneficial to you, but it is detrimental for others. It is problem for others. What it is called? It is called as a criminal act. Remember, I'll repeat. There is something which is benefiting you, okay, but it is hurting others. Okay, it is called as a criminal act. Okay, so the concept of dignity says that you have to live life like a son. I think now you clearly understand the concept. Okay, so we have done with the concept of dignity also. Okay, so preamble is over. Okay, so let us have a quick revision. Preamble has 4 parts. The first part of the preamble talks about the source of the constitution, source of authority of the constitution. Second part of the preamble talks about nature of Indian state. What is India? India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Then we talk about the objectives of the constitution, objectives of Indian polity, that is liberty, equality, justice, unity and integrity, and dignity of the individual. These are the objectives that we are trying to achieve. The fourth part of the preamble talks about the date in which we adopted the constitution, that is November 26, 1949. Okay, so the preamble is over. Now we have to talk about salient features of Indian constitution. Okay, salient features of Indian constitution. So I know that today's the topics are very heavy. Okay, the dignity, unity, integrity, and all. So now we have to see federalism, another important topic. Okay, I want all of you to listen. So I'll give you a short break. Okay, don't expect breaks in my class. Okay, I know when the subject is very heavy. So since now I know the subject is heavy, I want to give some break so that you come and listen to me properly. Okay, so a short 5 minutes break. Listen, 5 minutes break. Okay, so relax yourself and come back. We will start with federalism, salient features of Indian constitution. means brotherhood. Okay, developing a sense of brotherhood. And if you see in our preamble, okay, the word unity and integrity will be under fraternity. Okay, so they will use the word fraternity, and under fraternity, unity and integrity. Okay, so only when we develop a sense of unity and integrity, fraternity is possible. Only when we feel that, you know, people can have differences in their way of living, when we recognize and respect differences, and when we don't allow our differences to divide us, automatically it will lead us to the brotherhood, that is fraternity. If you are insisting on differences, telling that I am different and people belonging to other religion is different, then we can never develop a sense of brotherhood. Despite of diversity, we can all live together, peacefully coexist as Indians, only when we develop a sense of brotherhood. So that is why they said that fraternity has to be developed among us. Okay, so that is the significance of fraternity in the preamble. Okay, now federalism. Federalism. Okay. Okay, the root word of federalism, FEAD. Okay, FEDUS means agreement. The word FEDUS means agreement. You all know FEUD in English means disagreement, conflict, or we can say that disagreement. Conflict. Okay. So usually we call a country as a federal country which is formed out of agreement. Example, USA. In case of USA, we had 13 different states. Okay, 13 different independent countries in North America. Yeah, federalism is under salient features. Okay, now we have completed preamble. We are starting with the salient features. Under salient features of Indian Constitution, the first concept we are going to see is federalism. So India is a federal country, so we are discussing what is federalism. Okay. So you may think that suddenly I'm jumping from fraternity federal. That is why I said. Okay, fine. So federalism is formed out of an agreement. USA, 13 different countries come together and signs an agreement and becomes United States of America. Okay, so USA is called as a federal country. Okay. Now one question to all of you. You assume that you are king of a particular country or a queen of a particular country. Okay, you are a king or queen of a particular country. At the end, some people are asking me in chat, sir, can you tell me the topics that you have completed so far, especially batch 5? At the end of the session, I'll tell you. Okay, after 7:30, I'll tell you. Okay, batch 5 students remain after 7:30. Okay, so we will discuss about that. Okay, I'll complete the discussion on federalism. Any doubts on federalism is after completing the word federalism. Okay, I'll give you time for asking doubts. Now, please hold on. Okay, now in USA, they formed a country, I told you. Now, just assume that you are kings and queens of a country. Now, you are thinking that, you know, you are a very small country So for increasing the strength of your country, you want to join with neighboring countries and form a federation, form a group of states, okay, a bigger country. Now the question that I'm going to put you is whether you will give all the powers to the union or the federal setup, a central government formed out of that, or will you keep some powers to you and the remaining powers around you will give it to the central government, or a government that is formed out of merger? Okay, there is a strict no. I'm getting the answer that strict no, sir. We will not share our power. Good. That is the normal thing. Okay, fine, very good. So some are giving the answer, sir. Some powers I will keep it with ourselves. Some powers we will give it to the central government. So when we make an agreement and form a group of territories as one country, a bigger country, and form a central government, we will give some powers to the central government and some powers will be retained by ourselves. Okay, that is what federalism is. Federalism is when a country is formed out of agreement. Okay, those individual entities which has made the agreement, they will keep some power and remaining powers will be given to the center. So federalism means, okay, there will be two or more governments, not a single government. There will be two or more government. Okay, and there will be division of powers. Okay, then there will be division of powers. Okay, there is unitary form of government. The opposite of the federal form of government is unitary form of government. Okay, in unitary form of government, okay, in case of unitary form of government, there will be only one government. Okay. Or even if there is two governments, state governments will be agent of central government. No sharing of power. Okay, here we are having division of powers, right? Okay, but in case of state government, okay, state government will be agent of central government. Okay, there will be division of powers. Two or more governments, and there is division of powers. And more importantly, state will have autonomy. State government will have autonomy. Okay, then there are two or more governments, and there is division of powers, and state will have autonomy. Autonomy means it can act by itself. It can act by itself. So in examination, if they ask the word federalism, okay, immediately what should come to your mind? What is the definition that you have to give? You have to say that there are two or more governments and there will be division of power. That is federalism. Okay, in case of unitary form of government, there will be no division of power. Okay, state governments will act as a agent of central government, which means all decisions will be taken by the central government and the state government will take up the decisions. Okay. In India, we have union government at the central level in Delhi. Okay, and then you have state government. Okay. Likewise, we have parliament at the central level, and then we have state legislative assembly. Okay. Rather than full form itself, let's just say it. State legislative assembly. So there is a dividing line, okay, for parliament. Okay. Okay, so that's a technical problem. Okay, so just first let us see. Okay, the union government and state government is there, and parliament and state legislative assembly. There is division of power between the two. There is a union government, state government, and there is a division of power between them. Parliament and state legislative assembly, division of power between them. Okay, so we have a concept, okay, called as union list. Then we have state list. The union government will deal with all the subjects which is given in the union list. Okay, union list will have subjects. Okay, so that subjects will be dealt by that subjects will be dealt by the union. State list also will have subjects which will be dealt by the state government. Okay. Now the union government will not interfere in the state list. They will not take any decision in the state wise. Likewise, state government will not interfere in any of the areas of the union list. For example, law and order situation. Okay, law and order situation is under the state list, so union government will not interfere in that. If some are raising doubts, please wait. I will complete this, and then you can ask doubts. Okay. In case of the union government, that is unitary form of government, no lists. All decisions taken by union government or central government. So if you take the example of UK, government of UK. So under government of UK, we have government of England, government of Scotland, government of Wales, like that, you know, we have many provincial level or state level governments. Remember, all these governments act as an agent of central government. But in case of India, state of Tamil Nadu, state of Kerala, state of Karnataka, they can act in their own capacity. Okay, they can have autonomy in their state wise. So in examination, if they are going to ask what is federalism, federalism means two or more states. Okay. Sorry, two or more governments, and there is division of power, division of power between them. Okay. So as some of you have texted in the chat box, defense, foreign policy, and other things is dealt by central government, whereas police, law and order, health is dealt by the state government. Okay, fine. So now we know that federalism is two or more governments and division of power between the governments. The states will have autonomy. Okay, so the key words to carry here is two or more governments, division of powers, and state autonomy. Now we have to talk about the uniqueness of Indian federalism. Okay, uniqueness of the Indian. Okay, so Indian federalism is different from the Western federalism. Okay, we are having, what are they? First is Indian federalism is federalism with strong center. Okay, federalism with strong center. What is the meaning? Okay, even though we are giving state autonomy, when compared to the union government and the state government, union government is powerful. Why are we saying union government is powerful? Because if you see the union list, okay, we have around 96 subjects, 300, 100 plus subjects, okay, around 100. Okay, whereas if you see the state, it is 66 subjects. After GST, some one subject has been removed from each. Okay, so the exact numbers, don't worry, we will come again, okay, and tell you the exact numbers when we send a state. Now for your understanding, around 166. See, the union list is more than the state list. So which means the central government is more stronger. It has more areas of administration. It can cover more areas of administration. It can control many things in the country. So union government is stronger. Okay. Then we have concurrent list. Okay. So concurrent list means both central government and state government can make the decision. For example, education is there. We have CBSE schools, we have state board schools. So which means central government can also make decisions on education. State government also can make take decision. Now, the important point you must remember is whenever there is conflict between the central government and state government, central government's decision is final. Likewise, we have parliament and state legislative assembly. A law created by parliament is having a conflict with a law created by state on concurrent list. Then parliament law will prevail. I'll repeat, whenever parliament is creating a law on concurrent list and it is conflicting with the state law on the same concurrent list, parliament law will prevail. Which also means that federalism is, in India is federalism with strong center. Okay, and the next thing is we have residual powers. Residual powers meaning is remaining powers. Any power which is, or any subjects which has been left out in union list, state list and concurrent list will come under residual subject or residual power. So residual power in India is with the center. Residual power in India is with the center. For example, information technology. If you search the Indian Constitution, the word information technology or computers, artificial intelligence, robotics, these things will not be there. Okay, these are present century phenomena. For example, surrogacy also, or in vitro fertilization. Okay, test tube babies. So these concepts, is a new one. It was not there during 1950 when we wrote the Constitution. So who is going to legislate in these matters? Matters which is not listed in the union list, state list or concurrent list. It is the central government. That is what we call it as residual powers. So residual powers in India is left with the center. Okay. Now, why are we saying it is unique? Okay, you may be asking me, right? What is unique? Unique means it is applicable only to India. Okay, compared to other federal countries, India alone follows this system. That is why we call this as uniqueness. Because in other countries, state list will be higher. State subjects will be higher than the union list. In case of USA, the US Constitution is very small. The reason is the number of subjects dealt by the union government, central government in USA is very, very little. Okay, and the USA constitution, no, they have one constitution for the entire country, another constitution for the state. So here in India, union government has more powers, so we are calling India as federalism with strong center. Okay, usually in a federal country there won't be concurrent list. If at all there is concurrent list, state list or state law will prevail over the central law. State law will prevail over the central law, but in India, central law prevails over the state law. So we call India as a federalism with strong center. Okay. In fact, that is why, you know, somebody has used the word quasi-federalism. Okay, so India is not full federalism, it is quasi. Then in other countries, no, residual powers are with the center. Sorry. In other countries like USA, Australia and all, the residual powers is with the state. I repeat, in countries like USA and Australia, the residual powers is with the state. But in case of India, the residual powers is with the center. So that is also a reason why we call India as a federalism with strong center. Okay, so I'll take some doubts or clarified doubts before going into. Okay. Okay, so some of you are asking, sir, what is separation of powers? See, federalism is division of powers. Separation of powers is completely different. We have three organs of state: executive, legislature, and judiciary, right? When we talk about, you know, power allocation for executive, legislature, and judiciary, executive should do this, legislature should do this, judiciary should do this. Like that, when we say, it is called as separation of powers. Whereas division of powers means, okay, we are dividing powers between the central government and state government. Okay. Defense comes under the union list, yes. Okay, when I say union government deals with the subjects in the union list, it means it will take decisions and make laws in that respective subjects. There is one interesting question: will US president have lesser power than the state governor? Okay, the point is the governor in the states, United States of America, will have more area of administration compared to the US president. But when we compare to powers, US president is more powerful than the governors. That is different. But when we consider two areas of administration, US president has more less number of area of administration compared to that of governor. However, now after all your classes are over, I will take world constitution. I will compare Indian constitution with the world constitutions. At that time, we will discuss why US constitution has become more powerful. US may be a federal country, but you know, US president is seen to be more powerful because of certain reasons that we will see later. And to wait for the world constitution class. Okay, another relevant question is, since USA states have more power than the center, can they secede from USA? No, they cannot. Okay, only thing is their area of administration is higher and they have a lot of powers in terms of administration. In administration, they have power, but they don't have the power or right to cede away from the country. Okay. So there is a question whether there will be single government and unitary government. Usually single government, but for ease of administration, they can have state governments also. But state governments cannot act by themselves. They have to wait for instruction from the central government. Okay, so some people are asking, sir, quasi-federalism, why that name? The name quasi-federalism is given by Western because They're not fully federal. They are given more powers to the center. Okay. Even in case of historical perspective, okay, India was made as a one country, and then they divided power. Then they created states. Okay, so that is, and India is not formed out of agreement. That is why India is called as a quasi-federalism. People are reluctant to call it complete federalism. Okay, there is another question. Is this come under basic structure of constitution? Yes, federalism is basic structure of constitution. We will discuss basic structure later. Okay, we are going to discuss what is cooperative federalism also later. In residual powers, a person as Sarah has asked that when conflicts arise when decision is taken entirely by central government, there will be chances of conflict, but however, for easiness of administration, no. Okay, if you say residual powers, state also can make law, there will be confusion. There will be state law, central law. So, okay, unless that particular area is added to any of the list, union state list, a new phenomenon is coming, new area of administration is coming, will be called as residual powers, and the powers for practical purposes is with the union government. Okay, it should be with one government only. Okay, then only it will be easy. Otherwise, there will be conflict. There is another relevant question. Agriculture is in state list. Why do we have Ministry of Agriculture? Same is the case of health. Health is in the state list. But we find that central government is coordinating. We have a health ministry at the center. During corona pandemics, we find that central government is issuing guidelines and it is listened by the state. Once again, okay, in case of India, we have a federalism with strong center. Main decisions on agriculture for that state will be carried out by the state government only. Final decision is with the state government. However, central government will coordinate the action. Okay, agriculture ministry will coordinate the actions of agriculture ministries of the state. And moreover, my dear friends, central government has a lot of money with it. So even though the agriculture, health are in the state list, the central government will say that I will give this amount of money so that you implement a particular scheme there. For example, PM Kisan scheme, okay, wherein the Prime Minister has told that every farmer will get 6,000 rupees as a monthly income, sorry, annual income. No, it's monthly. Yeah, it's monthly income. Okay, so now this declaration by the Prime Minister, okay, comes in the agriculture sector. Okay, when the central government is giving money, why would the state government say no? Okay, so the Ministry of Agriculture is there to coordinate the actions of the state government. Okay, even if you take the corona pandemic, central government gave the guidelines and said that states, according to their situations, can deviate from this guideline. It cannot, break the red lines. Okay, whatever instructions given by the central government, but within the instructions, small changes can be done by the state government. Okay, so wherever central government has given a leeway, they can be done. So you must understand, even the matters under the state list, you will have a ministry at the center. Okay, the ministry at the center will coordinate the actions of the ministries at the state. So agriculture is in state list. The Union Ministry of Agriculture will coordinate the activities of agriculture of every state. Okay, how it is possible to coordinate? Money power. In India, central government has more money than the state government. Even once again, that is also a reason why we call India as a federalism with strong center. Even though we are saying state government can make important decisions, at the end of the day, money is with the central government, so central government can influence the state governments easily. Okay, in the recent time, we also saw the GST share. Okay, central government allocation of money. Central government said that states, you take care of yourself. We are not having money. Okay, but in normal times, central government will say, okay, I am ready to give money, but you have to take my decision, or you have to listen to my directions. Okay, and there is another question. In case of conflict between central government and state government, will the opinions of the state government also be considered? The demand of democracy is it has to be considered. Okay, but the central government can nullify the state government opinion, go ahead with its decision. And don't worry, when we come to center-state relation, you will understand more about it. How the central government is cooperating with the state government. What are the ways in which conflict between central government and state government can be resolved? Okay, that will be dealt in center-state relation class. So as of now, this doubt, you can keep a hold on it. Now think that state governments will be heard but doesn't mean that the central government has to listen. Okay, the central government can go ahead with its own decision, uh, saying no to the central government's views. Okay. There's another question: can center amend the constitution and transfer the state subject to the center, center subject to the state? That can happen. Okay, so constitutional amendment can be made and we can shift. GST is an example. Okay, goods and services tax. Services tax was with the central government, goods sales tax with the state government. The GST amendment was shifted these two to concurrent list. So constitutional amendment is possible and list can be altered. Okay. See, there is one question, sir. State governments, does it need approval from central government for every decision? No. Okay, simple. State governments can act by themselves in the state list. Okay, they can be coordinated by the center. Center coordinates with the state using money power. Okay, understand that. Okay, and it has a special provision called as 365. We will see that later. Exceptions later. As of now, understand the federalism means division of power. Central government can take decisions on union list. State government can take decisions on the state list. This is enough for basic understanding. Exceptional cases are there in Indian Constitution that we will discuss later. The center imposes a law, will state work in paper, can they disagree? Okay, states cannot disagree the central. Whenever there is a conflict between central law and state law, central law will prevail. We want state law to make prevail. There is one option for that. One exceptional case is there. Okay, a mechanism is given in the constitution that we will see later. It is not the appropriate time. Okay, if we want the state law to prevail over the parliamentary law, there is an option. Okay, that we will see later. Okay, there is one question: federalism is a good idea or bad idea? Okay, because it creates regionalism. Okay, federalism is actually good. Okay, it has worked out in India. Okay, we have been successful because we followed federalism. Okay, you please remember me after 7:30 because this is a out of topic. So I'll give the answer after 7:30. Okay, so now a person has asked if this comes under basic structure of constitution, then how could they amend? Okay, so the concept of federalism, okay, division of power, that is a basic structure doctrine. Union list, state list, concurrent list is not a basic structure doctrine. Okay, you can change them. Supposing if state list is completely abolished and it is transferred for the center, then that is affecting the basic structure doctrine. But one subject from center is taken to state list, one subject from state is taken to the center, or subjects from center and state is taken to the concurrent list, that and all can be done. That is an amendment that can be done. Okay, but remember, okay, basic structure, see, the basic structure of federalism, that is division of power between central and state government, that can never be amended. Yeah, cooperative federalism, wait, I will say, I'll discuss. Okay, we have seen only one point, federalism with strong center. We have 3 other points. Okay, we'll discuss what is cooperative federalism, so wait. Okay, so can central government change subjects from concurrent? Okay, done. Okay, and another important, why federalism is not there in the preamble? Okay, I've answered this question already when we talked about secularism. Federalism is an important concept. Parliamentary form of government is an important concept. Independent integrated judiciary is an important concept. But if you keep on adding all the important concepts in Indian constitution in preamble will become bulkier. So that is why what should be said in the preamble, that alone they said. Okay, when the foreigners read Indian constitution, they will not read the entire constitution, they'll read only the introduction, preamble. So whatever has to be conveyed to the entire world, what is the character of our country, what is the objective of our country, and to briefly tell our own people what is the nature and objective, we have preamble. So concepts like federalism and the parliamentary form of government, even though it is important, it is not added in the preamble. Okay, fine. So let me point out, okay, so because people are jumping, okay. So the second thing is Indian federalism is flexible federalism. The uniqueness of first unique point about Indian federalism, it is federalism with strong center, then flexible federalism. Then third one is Indian federalism is cooperative federalism. Indian federalism is, fourth point is asymmetric federalism. We can say that it is unequal federalism. Asymmetric federalism and unequal federalism. So these are the 4 points. Okay. Okay, so these are the 4 points, unequal federalism. Now in the federalism with strong center itself, another important point is there. Article 352 is there, 356. Article 356 talks about presidential rule. Article 356 talks about presidential rule. That is, if the central government, feels that the state government is not working appropriately, state government can be removed by the central government. I'll repeat. According to Article 356, if the central government feels that the state government is not working properly according to the constitution, state government can be removed. When I say central government can remove the state government, who is powerful? Central government is powerful. So by virtue of 356 also, Indian federalism is federalism with strong center. States are weaker. States have autonomy. State can function by itself. State governments can function by itself. But remember, state government is weaker compared to that of the central government. Then flexible federalism. What do you mean by flexible federalism? Normally, India is a federal country. Normally, India is federal, but during national emergency, that is Article 352. During national emergency, that is Article 352. Okay. Federal form converts itself into unitary form. In India, normally it is federal form in normal times. During national emergency, Article 352, that is when there is a declaration, somebody is at war, or some Indians itself, is taking up arms against the Indian government. So at that time, we will declare national emergency, federal form will become unitary form. So that is why we say our federalism is flexible federalism. In other countries like USA and Australia, even during the crisis, federalism remains intact. State will continue to enjoy autonomy. But in case of India, when there is national emergency, state will lose its autonomy. State will act as an agent of central government. They have to listen to every direction given by the central government. One of you asked in the doubt section, chat section, that, sir, what about the central government's direction? Whether state government has to listen everything to the central government. Normally, state government can act by itself. It need not go to the central government for all of its activities. But in case of emergency, national emergency, the state government can act only on the direction of the central government. Okay, completely. And continuously, they have to listen to the central government. Okay, any doubts in this? So that is why we mean the word flexible means changeable. Indian federalism is not rigid. It does not remain always federal. Normal times it is federal. During emergency it is unitary form of government. Why it should convert itself into unitary form? Because an emergency situation is arise, central government should not be disturbed by state government. We need absolute cooperation between the central government and state government. So that is why during emergency we are changing ourselves into a flexible federalism or unitary form of government. Any doubts? Okay. So in some cases, we have declared emergency because of Jammu and Kashmir issue and other things. You are right. Okay. Shivapriya, you are right that Article 352 is there to avoid the civil war. We have declared emergency. There is another person who is asking, was this done during Gujarat riots in 2002? See, declaring emergency is or imposing presidential rule is up to the central government. So at that time, the central government chose not to impose presidential rule in Gujarat. When Gujarat riots took place in 2002, they waited for the state government to act. So national emergency was not declared, and even presidential rule was not declared, because it is the discretion of the central government. What is cooperative federalism? Cooperative federalism, cooperation between central government and state government. Okay, the spelling is wrong. Cooperative federalism. Double O. Cooperation between cooperation between central government and state government. You can better understand this term only when you know what is competitive federalism. In USA and Australia, since there is division of power, union list and state list, there will be tug of war, or we can say that power conflict between center and state. That is logical, right? Okay, when you are saying that we have two governments, naturally, there will be competition between the central government and state government. Okay, in exercising power, central government somehow will try to take the power in the state list, and state government will also do the same from the central list, or sometimes state government will try to defend it. The best example is GST. Okay, so when the central government said that goods and services tax, the sale of goods tax was in state list. GST, I'll repeat. When you sell the goods, the tax will go to the state government. But central government want to take that power from the state. Okay, so state said no, we will not allow. So until end, even Tamil Nadu resisted GST. Maharashtra resisted, Karnataka resisted, even Gujarat resisted. Okay, it is called as competitive federalism. In fact, I would like to remind you, when the present Prime Minister Modi was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. Okay, and Manmohan Singh wanted to bring GST. At that time, Prime Minister Modi said, if you want to bring GST, he is looking at Manmohan Singh and said, okay, if you want to bring GST, you bring it over my dead body. Meaning, Gujarat will never allow the central government to pass the GST. And see the destiny, okay, it was the same person, the Prime Minister Modi, when he becomes the Prime Minister, he clicks the button and inaugurates GST in India. He made all necessary steps to implement GST at a faster rate. Okay, of course, we should appreciate that. Okay, he was ethical. When he was Chief Minister to Gujarat, he protected the interest of Gujarat state. And when he is the Prime Minister of India, okay, he acted as the Prime Minister of India. Okay, what is good for the entire country. Okay, he did not do something which is beneficial for his own state, Gujarat. Okay, Even though it will be affecting his own state, Gujarat, he took the decision to implement GST because it was good for the entire country. The GST only manufacturing and better states like Gujarat, Karnataka, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu was affected. Okay, these 4 states only opposed, and this happened. Now the point is, GST is a case in point where you can explain competitive federalism, competition between center and state, where central government tries to take the power of the state government and state government defends it. Okay, this has happened many a time. Even in India, in case of West Bengal and New Delhi, we find that Mamata Banerjee is always at loggerheads with the Prime Minister. She's always having a conflict. Kerala, okay, the state of Kerala, always having a conflict with the central government. Okay, so we find that even now the central government tries to take the power and state governments oppose it. Okay, it's called as competitive federalism. In case of education, okay, the central government wants to implement its vision in the states, and states like Tamil Nadu is opposing the new education policy. Okay, so the point here is, wherever there is federalism, there will be competitive federalism. That is competition between central government and state government. Now, in other countries like USA and Australia, interestingly, there is no chapter to deal with the conflict. The constitution has never thought about this problem. They do not have a chapter to deal with the problem. But in case of India, okay, there is a chapter in Indian constitution called as center-state relation. Okay, we have a concept called as center-state relation. A chapter, center-state relation, which talks about the mechanisms to resolve conflicts between center and state. Whenever there is a conflict, overlapping competition between central government and state government, how it can be solved. Okay, it is dealt in center-state relation. Okay. And also we have courts, okay, to solve problem. Okay, but courts, that is Supreme Court, comes secondary. Okay, but firstly we have center-state relation to solve the problems between the center and state. And very importantly, whenever state is acting, okay, even though state has an autonomy, state will act with the support of the guidelines of the central government. That is called as cooperative federalism. So conflict is a removed mechanism. That is why we are calling India as a cooperative federalism, because we try to eliminate competitive federalism. Okay, competitive federalism is replaced with cooperative federalism in India because of center-state relation chapter. As well as, okay, it demands, cooperative federalism demands cooperation between the central and state government. The central government will issue directions and state government will take the directions. The central government will have more finance, it will finance the state government, and state government will take the finances from the central government and implement. So the expectation of the constitution is the central government and state government should not fight. The central government and state government should cooperate for the betterment of the country. So the constitution envisages cooperative federalism. So Indian federalism is cooperative federalism. Okay. Then Indian federalism is asymmetric or unequal federalism, we are saying. Okay. Cooperative federalism is asymmetric and unequal federalism, meaning, okay, the federalism is not equal. Asymmetric federalism is not equal. Unequal federalism, meaning states in India does not have equal seats in Rajya Sabha. You know that Rajya Sabha is the Council of States. Rajya Sabha is the Council of States. Okay, we know that states in India does not have equal seats in Rajya Sabha. So we are calling it as unequal federalism. Larger states are having more MPs, smaller states are having fewer MPs. And we have special status for some states. Okay, earlier Jammu and Kashmir, now it's not. Okay, but earlier until 2019, Jammu and Kashmir had a special status. It enjoyed more autonomy than any other state. Okay, more autonomy than any other state. Okay, Jammu and Kashmir, no, the more autonomy. Then northeastern states, even now, northeastern states like Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Goa, for that matter, even Karnataka, Gujarat, Maharashtra. Okay, so these states are enjoying some special status. What is that special status? We will talk later. Okay, so there are some special status is given for the northeastern states and other states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Karnataka. Okay, earlier Telangana, which was under Andhra Pradesh, had a special status. Now, since Telangana has been created as a separate state, no more it has the. Oh, I'm sorry. Telangana also has a special status. Andhra Pradesh also has a special status. Okay, fine. Okay, so unequal federalism, and some states, no, or has scheduled areas. So those states which is having scheduled areas is less powerful because the government in that state or legislature in that state, they cannot control the scheduled areas. Scheduled areas directly come under the president or governor. Okay, so considering all these things, we can say that Indian federalism is asymmetric federalism. Okay, so we have done with federalism. Let us have a quick revision. Federalism in India, or federalism generally means two or more governments and there is division of powers. The key word is there will be state autonomy. State can take decision in the state list. There is uniqueness of Indian federalism. What are the unique points of Indian federalism? One is Indian federalism is the federalism with strong center. Then Indian federalism is flexible federalism, cooperative federalism, and unequal federalism. Okay, fine. So now I will take doubts from you. Okay, somebody is asking what is SAs? SAs are scheduled areas. Scheduled areas means those areas where tribals are living. Okay, so some states have tribal population. So those states also. Okay, in those states, the government and the legislature is less powerful. Okay, so yes, that is the Maheshwar. Okay, now you can go for doubts. Okay, we have ended the class. So those who are having doubts and we want to hear the discussion further can stay. Okay. Yes, Maheshwar, please unmute and talk, Maheshwar.
Sir, I asked that doubt regarding that if federalism is implemented, then will it, that means it will cause more regionalism and then the pan-national identity will be lost. For example, whenever a decision making has to be done, for example, in terms of economics, if you look at China, their economic growth is good compared to us because they can take decision on investments very easily. But if some company want to invest in India, they have to get state government approval, central government approval, and they will have to there'll be conflict of interest between two states. So will it be accurate to say that federalism will be good because it, for example, it will deny economic growth in our country? That is my doubt.
Yeah, here, so now your question is relevant, but what is important is not making decisions, quick decisions, but we have to make decisions which is acceptable to people and appropriate decisions, right? So only decision is important. We can allow the central government to take every decision. India is a very big country, and if central government alone is taking the decision, it will not be considering the local problems. So India being diverse country, okay, at least okay, a little amount of federalism has to be given so that state governments are able to deal with their own problems. Central government can deal with more important problems. So that is why we are having federalism with strong center and there is division of power. In fact, in India, because of giving federalism, Indian unity have strengthened. And interestingly, because of recognizing linguistic states, okay, so that is creating states on the basis of language. Okay, instead of separation, people have started to feel that they are Indians. That is the beauty of unity in diversity. When you allow the people to follow their difference, okay, recognize their differences, they're happy that their identity is respected, so they will remain in the union. Only when we try to eliminate the differences by saying that, no, you cannot take decision, I will only impose decision, automatically state governments or regional people living in, various parts of the country will want to have a separate country. So a country like India, federalism is definitely a good theory. Okay, if not for federalism, we would not have sustained for a longer period of time. Just think of Hindi, just because the central government is hell bent on implementing Hindi. Okay, Tamil Nadu feels that it is alienated.
Okay.
Whether it is correct or not, the discussion is there. But people feel alienated. Okay, so they'll feel that just because we are part of the Indian Union, you are asking us to be a secondary grade citizen. You want to make us feel that our language is secondary compared to your language. Like that, people start to feel. We, the bureaucrats, we have to think about Indian Union. Think of a common man. Common man feels affected when his culture is affected, when his language is affected, when his religion is affected. So the government has to be sensitive on that. Federalism addresses this sensitiveness. Federalism helps to ensure that even the smallest of desires of every part of this country is addressed.
Okay, sir. But when keeping aside some sensitive issues like language and other things, when we talk on like economics, for example, we also have that we also have a provision in Constitution: the states shall try to reduce the poverty level. And you said in an earlier class that every person should have a decent way of living. For that, a central government cannot give every time. Like, we cannot follow socialistic principles by giving money every time. We have to encourage people to do work. For that, we need to create some kind of investments and other opportunities in our state, for which there will be some companies who may try to invest in our country, and the central may allow, sometimes even state may allow, but central will not allow. In that time, two clash of interest, clash of two governments will happen. In the case of China, you will not see this opportunity. Directly, the central government, that means the only government in China, they will be giving. And so my idea is there should be some categories should be left to the central government, so that, like, for an economical perspective, so that they can make decisions instead of state. If there are two, that means if two governments are clashing with each other, then the company will not be recognized in, for example, the global ratings on investment destination, other things. So that will affect our reputation globally, so that we cannot give job opportunities. That is my doubt.
That is there already. Okay, even in economic sphere, there is division of power.
Okay.
Our constitution has clearly mentioned which are the areas can be dealt by central government, which of the areas can be dealt by state. For example, minerals directly falls under the state list. Regulation of mineral areas is falling under the central government. Okay. Then, like, labor laws is in concurrent list. So both central and state can make laws. So economics also, there is a demarcation of power. But here also one problem is there. Not all states are equally developed. If we say southern states and the western states are developed compared to other states, not the northeastern states.
Okay.
Okay, so when central government decides, it's a problem. For example, central government talks about education. We'll fund for education in order to develop the economy. Kerala already has reached 100% literacy. Now, new education policy is saying 50% gross enrollment ratio will make by 2030. Tamil Nadu has already achieved 49%.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then in case of economic investment also, okay, in fact, the states of Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra and Karnataka is doing better. Okay, because of some central government law. Okay, now, there is a disincentive for the some countries and companies to come to states. That is a problem. Because central government is interfering, and because foreign ministries with them, they are interfering and creating trouble. In fact, when you answered, you yourself gave the answer, telling that what if central government is creating trouble for the state. So in that situation, the most of the part should be given to the state, and the regulation part should be given for the center. So the center should act like a father, and the states is like son. Okay, a young son who has established a new family. Okay, so the son has to decide everything. The father has to advise, and father has to facilitate the decision making. In case if son is having some financial crisis, the central government has to handhold the state. But if central government is giving all the instructions to the state, one size does not fit all. That is the problem.
Okay, sir, I understood. And one more doubt regarding not this period, but one general doubt is regarding about the movement of people across the states. For example, I read that in newspaper 1 week back about this inner line permit in certain areas of northeastern states. That means that is reserved for those areas. That means we should not. For example, at the same time, Constitution talks about any Indian can settle anywhere and they can do their they can construct houses except for Jammu and Kashmir. Now it is revoked. They are providing some again. It is made some as a rest of the country. But there are provisions in certain areas. For example, if I'm from Tamil Nadu, I can go and sit in Karnataka or Maharashtra, but I cannot do the same thing in Assam or in Arunachal. What is the reason, sir? But at the same time, the Arunachal guy or Assam guy, they can come and settle in Tamil Nadu for if they are getting job and they can permanent settle. But I cannot do the same if I get a job there, or I cannot settle. I have to come back at certain period of time. Why is the reason, sir? Because we have freedom of movement of people.
We have freedom of movement, but at the same time, freedom of movement can be restricted in the interest of tribes. Okay, tribals now, the main problem is they are not integrated to the mainstream economy.
Okay.
Now, when we allow non-tribals to enter into tribal area, that has resulted in their exploitation.
Okay.
Okay, so generally, non-tribals will visit tribal area to acquire their land, to take their resources, to mine their minerals which is available in the tribal area. So history says that non-tribals have moved to tribal areas only for exploitation. But in case of us moving to Karnataka or Karnataka people coming here or we going to Maharashtra, it is like to enhance our life chances. We don't go for exploitation.
Okay, sir.
So to avoid exploitation, we have some check in the constitution to give protection for the tribals. We are saying that inner line permit is required. Okay, so to prevent people from exploiting the tribals. Tribals are vulnerable, no? So whenever there is a conflict between the strong people and weaker people, the government will stand on the side of the weaker people. Okay, so the weaker people has a reason to stay back in the country. So that is why we are giving special provisions for the northeastern states.
Okay.
Even Andhra Pradesh, one of them is asked, Andhra Pradesh, they have whether special status. Yes, because there are backward regions within Andhra Pradesh. If they want to feel comfortable, the vulnerable people has to have special protection. That is what Constitution is doing.
Okay, sir.
Good,
Okay.
good. That was a good discussion with you, Maheshwar.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now, okay, I will take some questions. There are some hand raises. So first I'll address the hand raises. Then I will come to the chat questions. Okay. Yes. I have a
Yeah, sir. One small doubt, sir. Is there any chance that the state lists are overcome by the center? For example, there is something in state list, okay, but center or assimilate to GST. Is there how many chances how they are tackling the situation, sir? As per the new constitution.
okay. Can you be slower in asking the question because you are.
Okay, sir. I can ask in Tamil also. It's not a problem. Sir, state list இருக்கிற சில district வந்துட்டு central want to take decision. Okay, center want to take some decision, even though it's in only state list. By the times how the situation going in India constitution, sir.
The constitution clear it has been clearly mentioned in the constitution which are the areas central government can make decision, which are the areas state government can make. In the coming classes we will be studying that, okay, which area is dealt by who, and when there is conflict between center and state, how to deal with it also we are going to study it later. We will have to wait for the future classes.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Okay, yes, somebody else is there. So there is no more hand raises, so I'll go to the chat area. Okay. COVID-19 is also a national emergency, right? Yes, it is a national emergency substantially, but Indian government has not declared it. And remember, national emergency can be declared on two grounds. One is external aggression, we have been war, or armed rebellion. Somebody is fighting the government with the arms. Okay, so because of that, no, we cannot declare national emergency now. Okay. COVID-19 substantially is the national emergency, but we cannot declare Article 352 national emergency because the grounds of declaration of national emergency is external aggression and armed rebellion. So some of you are asking what, sir, can you explain 1975 emergency of Indira Gandhi? Why did it happen? I'll explain it later. We will do it, okay, when we come to the amendments. Okay, 35th Amendment Act, how amendments are done, why amendments are done. At that time, I'll explain what happened during the amendment. Andhra Pradesh has a special status. Somebody's asked me to explain special status again. Whether the person is there or not, I don't know. So if you are there, please hand raise. I'll explain. Yes, there is a doubt regarding what India is doing about Sentinelese and the Ongols and the Jarawa tribes and all, because India is not having any communication as per the Indian Constitution. Okay, they are a protected area. Okay, so if you want to enter those areas, you have to take permission from the government. Okay, the area directly comes under the administration of the president. So it is not a state; it is a union territory. So under federal structure, Andaman Nicobar will not come. Only states come under the federal structure. Union territories directly come under the president, so they don't come under the federal structure. They directly come under the union government. So the tribes in Andaman and Nicobar directly managed by the central government. There is no federal issue there. Okay, they'll be taken care of the central government. Yes, can you please tell me the topics completed till now? So I have just given the basic introduction for polity, and I've completed the preamble alone. Okay, so before preamble, I was just talking about the basic ideas, okay, that everybody should be knowing. Okay, so preamble itself has been taken some 3-4 classes because every idea was dealt in detail. So in all these classes, I've been talking about what is the basic of polity, what is the meaning of polity, what is constitution, what is law, etc. And I've completed preamble. That's all. And today we have completed preamble and entered into the silent features. Okay, got it. So batch 5 students. That is what I've done. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so 17 spirits are alive now. Okay, still want to hear me. Good. Okay, so have a good night's sleep today. Okay, Sunday. I think most of you are working professionals. Okay, happy week ahead. We'll meet next week. Okay, there is one more chat. Okay, that's thank you. Okay, somebody has thanked me. Okay, thank you all. Welcome.